What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so yesterday we saw Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. The Cavaliers had a number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and the Indiana Pacers had the fourth seed in the Eastern Conference. But honestly, if you didn't know any better, you would have thought from the effort in this series that it was the Pacers that was the number one seed. One thing about these playoffs that I've noticed is that the NBA definitely has listened to us. They've listened to the fans. And although the game itself will never really truly be played the same way that we grew up watching, they've definitely listened to us about defensive intensity and allowing more physical defense to be played. And these playoffs have been sensational compared to what we have been dealing with lately. I saw a stat that said that the NBA ratings have been down since LeBron was eliminated. Let me tell you something, man. Then that just tells me that most people out here are sheep. They're sheep, and that they're only watching because of what the talking heads tell them are the teams to watch. Because if you don't like what you're watching now, then you really just don't like NBA basketball at this point. You just are a casual. You're just a casual who only follows 3 or 4 or 5 different players or teams. That's it. But anyway, of course, in Game 3, the Cavs came out and showed domination, and they won by a 20-point margin on the road at Indiana, which is over the past 2 months has been a very difficult place to win. At one point, the Pacers had won 16 of their last 18 games at home. Game 4 was a totally different story. Game 4 was an absolute shellacking. Okay? The final score of 129 to 109 doesn't really do justice to how dominating the Pacers were in this game against the Cavs. In that fourth quarter, I would say the Cavs probably shaved off about 15 to 20 points of that lead, because at one point, I think the Pacers had a 43 or 45 point lead in this game. It was that bad. And by the way, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh with this assessment, but I think Donovan Mitchell quit yesterday. They're saying that, his ankle was whatever. Look, I think in his mind, he said, look, I'm not going to risk injury. We're not coming back. I'm just not going to go. And I think that's what pretty much happened. He quit. He looked at the score, said, this game's over with. I'll come back in Game 5. And to me, I mean, you could say it with the trainers or whatever. He has a history of doing that with the Utah Jazz. So, I mean, it is what it is. To me, he quit. Darius Garland had 21 points, I think, and like 6 or 7 assists. But it was rather ineffectual. Mathurin got ejected, I think, for the Pacers during a scuffle between him and I forgot the guy's name on the Cavs. I forgot who it was already. I forgot who the other guy was, but the Pacers are the better team right now, man. I mean, it is what it is. People can talk about injuries. And look, last year, it definitely was injuries with the Cavs. I mean, with the Pacers. Last year, it was definitely injuries with the Pacers. I didn't really give them credit last year. The last couple of years, really. But this year, this Pacers team is different. Over the last couple of years, the Pacers have been a team that could score a lot, but their defense was suspect. This year, there's been especially in the second half, their defense has ratcheted up a bit, a lot actually, to the point where when I was watching the Pacers the last month of the regular season, I kept trying to tell myself, this is a fluke. They're just playing well right now. But when I consistently kept seeing the same type of performance from this team, and now the Milwaukee Bucks look pretty goddamn good, being as competitive as they were against this Pacers team. Because the Cavs, who were one of the two top teams in the NBA from start to finish, the Cavs now were down by 40 points at halftime to this team. You can't blame all that on injuries. At the end of the day, like I said in my other video, maybe I'm wrong, I think the Pacers are going to the NBA Finals. Now, I don't think they're going to win the championship because I think OKC will beat them. But it's possible we could have an OKC Pacers Finals. Now, I know the NBA wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want an OKC Pacers Finals. And we'll see Stephen A. Smith, bald-head ass, complain about, not wanting to go to those cities. I want to be in the funny sun of California. I want to be in LA. I want to be in New York where the action's at. I want to be in Miami where you got the beautiful women. Perk, you know what I mean? Perk, you got the action. You got the 5-star hotels. You got the celebrities. I mean, what can you do at OKC? I mean, well, you got tornadoes and oil rigs. Ain't nothing there to do. Army bases. That's about it. But that'll be a great basketball series. At this point, I think this series is over. I mean, yeah, theoretically, the Cavs can come back. The Pacers are a tough team, man. They're a tough team. I don't see Cleveland beating them 3 games in a row. I don't see it. By the way, salute to Rick Carlisle, passing Larry Bird for most wins in franchise history in playoffs. And what else do I want to say? Oh, yeah. Ty Jerome has been absolutely ass juice in this series. So much so that I think he's pretty much, his minutes are way down. I don't know if I want to say he's out of the rotation, but Ty Jerome has been absolutely awful in this series so far for the Cavaliers. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but it's not. But he has not played well at all. And, the Pacers have really affected the flow of the Cavaliers offense to the point where the only guys that are really getting off are the guys who can create their own shots. Garland when healthy, Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, who's a much improved player, but it's more like individual ISO type situations, which has not been the way that the Cavs have scored for the most part this season. But I know that whatchamacallit said something too. Might have been Jalen Rose who said this, but it was either Jalen Rose or Kenny Smith, and I agree with what they said. They said that one of the things that's getting exposed in this series is the Cavs front line. Is that they're tough. I mean, they're big, but they're not physically imposing. And they're being kind of bullied a little bit. And, you wouldn't have thought that, but I don't know, man. This Pacers team is looking scary, man. It's looking scary. So I guess my prediction about them going to the finals wasn't as ridiculous as some of my subscribers were making it out to be. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.